Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 41st episode of Live from the Adelphi PAC living room. I promise that I will stop counting when we get to 50. At that point, I'm not going to care anymore. My name is Blythe Daylong. I'm the executive director of the Adelphi University Performing Arts Center. Thank you all so much for being here and choosing to spend some time with Adelphi. While we aren't able to have audiences in person, we do continue to use this show to bring Adelphi's talented students, faculty, alumni, staff, and other guests to you each week. I also hope that this is a nice distraction from the world around you, from whatever you're dealing with at work or at home. I can tell you that it has been a crazy weekend behind the scenes at the Performing Arts Center, and all I will say is the phrase inmates running the asylum has popped into my head more than one time. So I have been looking forward to tonight's show very much for a break from everything else and from having to think about anything else that is going on and just focus on this. So we have a great show tonight, another great show this week. First, we're going to take a quick look at yesterday's Clea Blackhurst concert. Then, as promised a couple weeks ago, we have Department of Music, Vocal, and Performance Coach Jim Fredericks not back on the show. His music was on the show. He himself has not been on the show yet, so he's going to be here to talk about his faculty recital from 2019 and share some more great selections from that excellent afternoon cabaret. But first, hopefully most of you tuned in yesterday to our live concert featuring award-winning cabaret star Clea Blackhurst. She was performing her show Everything the Traffic Will Allow, which she debuted 20 years ago this month. Now, the show celebrates the Broadway career of the legendary Ethel Merman. Now, if you didn't watch, here's a taste of what you missed with the opening number from her show. Enjoy.
Ethel would only sing one way, and the way she sang was this. Who could ask for anything more? I got daisies in green pastures. I got my man. Who could ask for anything more? Old man trouble, I don't mind him. You won't find him round my door. I got starlight, I got sweet dreams. I got my man. Who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything more? Oh, Ethel Merman sang out with gusto and just overloaded the place. She startled Broadway, sang willy-nilly until she was blue in the face. For holding one note was her ace. Couldn't hear the brass, couldn't hear the drum. She was in a class by herself, by gum. Oh, Ethel Merman sang for George Gershwin, Cole Porter, and Irving Berlin. She sang out high notes, long notes, and strong notes, a new breed of voix feminine. And girls who sang out became in. Couldn't hear the flute or the big trombone. Everyone was mute. Ethel stood alone. Tuesday, October 14th, 1930. The night Ethel Merman becomes a star, singing I Got Rhythm in George and Ira Gershwin's Girl Crazy. Now, how on earth does she get here? This is a 20-year-old kid with no aspirations to the legitimate stage whatsoever. She wants to be a singer in vaudeville, maybe headlining at the Palace Theater one day. But taking Broadway by storm is something she's never even thought about. And yet here she is, center stage at the Alvin Theater, stopping the show. Well, this all goes back a few months before, when big-time Broadway producer Vinton Friedley catches her singing in between movies over at the Brooklyn Paramount Theater. And he's so thoroughly wowed by what he sees, but especially by the audience's reaction to her, that he immediately rearranges an audition for his big new Broadway musical. So Ethel is told to report to 33 Riverside Drive. It's the home of composer George Gershwin. And for one of the only times in her entire life, she will actually be nervous. And not just about stepping on the carpet and sitting on that sofa and, oh, geez, would you get a load of that object to art? I mean, she's still living with her parents in Astoria, Queens. So this Art Deco bachelor penthouse is unlike anything she's ever imagined. Anyway, the audition is going fairly well, but she only remembers the moment after her 2 songs when George Gershwin turns to her and says, "Would you like to hear the songs my brother and I have written for the new show?" Yes, I would, she said. Can you imagine hearing I Got Rhythm for the first time, and it's being sung to you by George Gershwin at his Steinway piano? And can you imagine imagining that if everything goes well at this meeting today, this song just might become yours to introduce on Broadway? Well, perhaps misinterpreting her jaw, George Gershwin says, "Miss Merman, if there's anything you don't like about this music, I would be most happy to change it." No, it'll do very nicely, she says. So she is immediately signed, $375 a week, which is not bad, actually. I would take that right now, right here today. And sadly, that is not a joke. Anyway, at the end of Act 1, she comes out and sings I Got Rhythm. And she did something that has lived in memory ever since. She took one note, the C, and she held it over the entire length of the chorus before saying, "Who could ask for anything more?" Well, the audience went absolutely crazy. 4 encores, 5 encores. George Gershwin ran up 3 flights of stairs to her dressing room, and at intermission he said, "Ethel, do you have any idea what you just did down there?" "No." "Good." "Oh, and Ethel, never, and I mean never, go near a singing teacher." And the rest is history. Hit it! Cats and dogs stopped yapping, lions in the zoo all were jealous of Ethel's big trill. Thunderclap stopped clapping, traffic ceased its roar, and they tell us Niagara stood still. She stopped the train whistles, boat whistles, steam whistles, cop whistles, all whistles bowed to her skill. Who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything more? Old man trouble, say I don't mind him. You won't find him creeping round my front or back door. Not round my front or back door. I got rhythm, I got music, I got my man. Who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything more? I got
So that is the fantastic Clea Blackhurst. It's a fantastic show. That is a great little taste of it. It is, again, a celebration of Ethel Merman's Broadway career, very specifically. So it is stories and songs from all 14 of her Broadway shows. It was live in our concert hall just yesterday. But it is available, the recording of the show is available to watch through this Wednesday. So through midnight on Wednesday, March 3rd, you can still watch this show if you didn't catch it already. So as usual, go to our website, pac.adelphi.edu. You will find more details about how to purchase access to the recording of this magnificent show only through Wednesday, and then it is gone. So make sure you take advantage of that. And while you're there at the website, do look around at all the great shows we have coming up, all the great events we have coming right around the corner from our dance, music, and theater students, as well as other great guest artists. As usual, sign up for our email list is the best way to keep up with what we're doing. We will send an email once a week giving you a synopsis of the shows that are coming up. So I encourage you to do that if you have not done so already. Now, on to tonight's guest. So Jim Fredericks is he has a distinguished career as a theater and cabaret performer. He is a vocal and performance coach at Adelphi's Department of Music. He had a wonderful faculty recital in the fall of 2019. Just a couple weeks ago on this show, I shared a few pieces from that recital, and I am happy to be able to share more pieces of the concert, as well as to welcome Jim to the show to talk about the show, talk about his life, and go forward with that. But before I bring him out, let's start at the beginning with the first songs from his cabaret performance. So take it away, Jim.
So I thought I'd start with the first song I ever sang in public, and I was 13 years old, and then the first song I ever sang in a musical. And these two songs sort of got me hooked on musical theater and performing. I have often walked down the street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once have I several stories high. Now it's just on the street where you live, by the lilac trees in the heart of town. Can you hear a lark in any other part of town? Does enchantment pour on every door? Now it's just on the street where you live. And all the towering feeling, just to know somehow you are near. The overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare, they don't bother me, for there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, I won't care if I'm here on the street where you live. I have dreamed that your arms are lovely. I have dreamed what a joy you'll be. I have dreamed every word you'll whisper when you're close to me. How you look in the glow of evening. I have dreamed and enjoyed of you. In these dreams I've loved you so, that right now I think I know what it's like to be loved by you. so that by now I think I know what it's like to be loved by you. I will love being loved by
And with that, please welcome Jim Fredericks.
Hi, Blythe.
Hello, Jim.
Hi, it's great to see you. Great to be
Great
here.
to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to do this and for sharing your music with us. I really appreciate it. It's great to have you here so that we can chat a little bit about the show.
And I get to follow Ethel Merman.
I mean, and you had Ethel Merman as an opening act.
That was a treat. That was a treat.
I feel is how we're going to look at that, right? Yeah.
Right.
She was so great. She was so fun and is delightful. And yeah,
I saw her just a few years before she died in a benefit in Carnegie Hall, and I'd never understood the mystique until she walked out on the stage. And the way she walked, I said, "That's why she's Ethel Merman."
Yeah.
She owned it. She owned the stage.
There are a handful of performers that are like that, where like there is a feeling that just happens when they walk out on stage, like literally just as they walk out. That's all they have to do, and you're like, oh, I get it. Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah, excellent. Well, tell us. Let's start this by telling us just a little bit about your background as a performer. And we'll start there before we get into your show itself. Just give us a little bit of background on yourself and what got you to Adelphi eventually.
Well, I came to New York. I was going to stay in New York for 2 years in the early 70s and take some voice lessons, and I never left. And I was going to go into more of a classical vein. And I started doing choral work, but I did a lot of musical theater, and that's my big love. It's always been my big love. And I've been teaching for about 25 years at several schools. I love working at Adelphi. And I was brought to Adelphi basically to work with people from the theater department.
Okay.
And then I got music majors too. So I work with theater people and music people. And this cabaret that I did in the middle of the day in the recital hall.
Right. Yeah. I think it was like on a Wednesday afternoon, probably. Right? Yeah.
It was mostly for students, but some faculty came, and it was a great opportunity for me to express myself and to show what cabaret can do. It's a personal medium, and you pick repertoire that reflects things that you love and care about. But it was also a way for me to educate some of the students. So I did a mix of golden age musicals like King and I Have Dreamed, My Fair Lady, and I did some things that I didn't think they would know. I love story songs, so I did several songs that told stories, and we'll get to a couple of those too.
That's fantastic. Now, how have you been holding up with everything, with the shutdown and everything going on? I know you still have students that you're doing coachings with, and
yeah,
I'm sure it has become all about things like this, where you're on Zoom and trying to figure out.
I hate it. I miss performing, and it was so fun. At Christmas, I did a couple of Zoom parties for people, and one of the parties, because you can't really sing together, we were trying to sing Christmas carols, but at one point, I just did sort of 20 minutes, like an act, and it was the first time in 9 months that I felt I'm performing again. And they were listening because I could see all their faces, you know. Yeah. And I did about a cabaret act for this lady who lives in Mamaroneck.
That's great. Friends. Oh, I love it. Oh, that's so fun.
So that was sort of my re-entry and getting to revisit this cabaret. And then I'm working on, I sing at a wonderful church in New York, Holy Trinity Episcopal, and we're doing a virtual cabaret. And we're rehearsing that right now. We're going to stream that in May. So I hope people can tune into that. So I'm
great. Excellent. No, that's a lot of fun. I feel like there's more and more of that is coming up as people start to figure out the technology and get and just get restless, that it's like, okay, now it has been like, it hasn't been just a few months. It's been a long time. And
It's been a long time.
And
I can't wait to get back to the theater, to go back, because I go to the theater all the time. And it's been, Netflix just doesn't do it.
No,
I need to be in a Broadway theater.
There is nothing like being in a room together with the people actually performing and other people watching and enjoying it at the same time. There is absolutely no replacement for that.
No replacement.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, we're trying. We're doing the best we can, but I am right there with you. It is,
and I'm a technophobe, so this has been very challenging.
Oh,
and you've been so patient with me, because just doing this, and my friend Cleve is here helping me out tonight, because I just I'm better than I was. Let's put it that way. I've learned a lot in a year about this, but my neighbor has helped me. And anyway, we're here tonight, and we're going to hear some more music.
It's great. We absolutely are. So we have 2 more songs coming up next. So do you want to?
Let me just. Yeah. One of them I chose because it has a lot of words, and I wanted to see if I could do a song that was fast, that I had never done before. I think I'd sung it one time. It's by Cy Coleman and Carolyn Lee, who wrote Sweet Charity, one of my favorite scores. And it was written for a cabaret and made famous by a wonderful cabaret artist named Blossom Dearie, that I'm sure a lot of people who know cabaret who are listening tonight will recognize. And the second song, Why Did I Choose You, is one of those songs from a flop musical, a musical called The Yearling, based on the novel The Yearling. It ran a week, but it had some great songs, and Barbra Streisand recorded about 5 of them in the early 60s.
Okay.
And this song, Why Did I Choose You, is one of my favorite songs. I often do it as an encore. So that follows You Fascinate Me So by Cy Coleman and Carolyn Lee, and then Why Did I Choose You by Michael Learned.
And I think I actually flipped them.
Okay, whatever.
So I think we're going to see Why Did I Choose You first.
Great.
I know in your cabaret you did the Fascinate Me first, but I think for this clip I flipped them around. So
great.
Yeah, just so no one's confused. Also, maybe I made my notes wrong, and we'll see what happens. But good. Well, enjoy these next 2 songs.
Thanks, Ryan.
Why did I choose you? What did I see in you? I saw the heart you hide so well. I saw a quiet man who had a gentle way, a way that caught me in its glowing spell. Why did I want you? What could you offer me? A love to last a lifetime through. And when I lost my heart so many years ago, I lost it lovingly and willingly to you. If I had to choose again, I would still choose you. Thank you. I have a feeling that beneath that little halo on your noble head, there lies a thought or two the devil might be interested to know. You're like the finish of a novel that I finally have to take to bed. fascinate me so. I feel like Christopher Columbus when I'm near enough to contemplate the sweet geography descending from your eyebrow to your toe. The possibilities are more than I can possibly enumerate. That's why you fascinate me so. So sermonize and preach to me. Make your sanctimonious little speech to me. But oh my darling, you'll forgive my inability to concentrate. I think I'm dealing with a powder keg that's just about to blow. Will the end result deflate me, or will you annihilate me? You aggravate me, you irritate me, you fascinate me so.
Excellent. A lot of fun.
I had the music there, but I tried not to look at it because I was trying to do it by memory.
Sure,
and that was a challenge.
I know, right? Well, it
gets harder. It gets harder to memorize, you know.
Yeah, right. And especially when it's so wordy that you almost just, it's nice to have it in front of you just so you know it's there, just in
That's
case,
right.
you totally get lost. So yeah.
Safety.
Right, I get it. So now for the next couple of songs, you step away from the piano.
Right.
And are joined by one of your fantastic colleagues in the Department of Music. So tell us about...
I have to talk about Christine Reimer, who accompanies me on these next three songs. Christine and I met actually singing the High Holy Days together with her husband, Alan, at a temple in Chappaqua many years ago. And then we started working together at Adelphi. She is a terrific pianist, vocal coach, teacher, and mezzo-soprano. She's triple, quadruple threat. And she's played for one of the classes that I taught, two of the classes that I've taught. And I love working with her. These are story songs. And I could not sing and play them at the same time. I had to be up moving around. Sure. So can I just introduce the songs before we do them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, please, yeah.
The first one, I think we're going in order, is by Maltby and Shire. It's called One of the Good Guys. Is that right?
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
And Maltby and Shire wrote two fabulous reviews, Closer Than Ever and Starting Here, Starting Now. And they also wrote a wonderful musical called Baby. This song, One of the Good Guys, is from Closer Than Ever. And I've been singing it for many, many years. And I had to change the numbers in it because I'm getting older. But it's about a guy who's married who goes on a trip. So that's that song. And the next two songs are Sondheim songs. And I've paired a song from Passion called Loving You. I don't do the entire song. There's more to it, but I do part of Loving You from Passion. And I pair that with a song from Follies called Could I Leave You? And in the musical Could I Leave You, Follies, Could I Leave You is sung by Phyllis, who was played by the indomitable Alexis Smith. She was brilliant. But when Sondheim did a review, when they did a review of his music in the early 70s called Side by Side by Sondheim, David Kiernan, a British actor, singer, was one of the co-creators of this show. He sang the song as a man, about a man. And it's often done that way. Certainly it's done that way when you do the review, and I'm doing it that way in this rendition. So it's Loving You and Could I Leave You? It's sort of the light in the dark, and I love singing Could I Leave You? So, and Christine's great.
Well, it's great. I mean, these are fantastic songs. It's a nice grouping of music. Now, I will say you do step away from the piano for these songs, which also means you are stepping away from the microphone. So we have done what I can to bump up the sound on these, but I'm just letting everyone at home know you may need to turn up the volume a little bit to really hear Jim as well as you've heard him in these other ones. So with that, enjoy these next collection of songs.
Right here you see one of the good guys, one of the nice ones with sensible drives. What else could I be? I'm one of the good guys who play with their children and dote on and pamper their wives. But there was a night in Hawaii on a business trip that my mind has suffused with a mystic love. She was someone's friend and she had this smile. We were on the beach and we walked a while and I watched the wind billow in her hair and I knew, we knew there was more to share. I could feel the ground start to go like volcanoes starting to blow and the waves were low. We were all alone. We had left the crowd. Not a soul would ever have known. But I stopped and said no, 'cause that isn't me. I'm one of the good guys, one of the smart ones whose virtue survives. Firm as a tree, one of the good guys who trades a flash of heat to build a warmer fire, denies himself a treat to shoot for something higher, and that's the part that's sweet, that only the good guys know. That's not the end. As you suspected, time flips some pages. I'm now 64. There's money to spend. The kids are out of college. My wife's back in art school. We just took a house at the shore. But sometimes at night, in the stillness lying wide awake, as the wife my still desire sleeps by my side, I can feel the wash of the perfumed air, and my mind is drowning in billowing hair. And although I know that my life is blessed, I am teased by thoughts that it's second best, and the visions seethe in my head of the lives that I may have led. They're all still there. I can change my fate. There's no time to spare. I must find them before it's too late. But I wake and say no. Oh, hell, why defend all of us good guys, strangling in plenty yet whining for more? Truth is, my friend, just between good guys, it's not which road you pick, which life you pick to live in, whichever choice you pick. The longing is a given, and that's what brings the ache. That only the good guys know. Loving you is not a choice, it's who I am. Loving you is not a choice, and not much reason to rejoice, but it gives me purpose, gives me voice to say to the world, this is why I live. leave you? How could I leave you? How could I go it alone? Could I wave the years away with a quick goodbye? How do you wipe tears away when your eyes are dry? Sweetheart, lover, could I recover? Give up the joys I have known, not to fetch your pills again every day at 5, not to give those dinners for 10 elderly men from the UN. How could I survive? Could I leave you and your shelves of the world's best books and the evenings of martyred looks, cryptic sighs, sullen glares from those injured eyes? Leave the quips with a sting, jokes with a sneer, passionless love-making once a year, and the lies ill-concealed, and the wounds never healed, and the games not worth winning. And wait, I'm just beginning. Leave you, how could I leave you? What would I do on my own? Putting thoughts of you aside in the south of France, would I think of suicide? Darling, shall we dance? Could I lead you through the pain on a terrace in Spain? Would it pass? It would pass. Would I bury my rage with a boy half your age in the grass? Bet your ass. But I've done that already. Or didn't you know? Tell me, how could I leave when I left long ago? Could I leave you? No, the point is, could you leave me? Well, I guess you will. Leave me the house, leave me the flat, leave me the Bronx, Chagall's and all that. You can leave me the stocks for sentiment's sake, and 90% of the money you make, and the drugs, and the cooks. Darling, you, the rubs, angel, you keep the looks, honey. I'll take the grand sugar, you take the spirit, and all of our friends, and just wait a goddamn minute. Leave you, how could I leave you? Sweetheart, I have to confess. Could I leave you? Yes. Will I leave you? Will I leave you? Guess.
So fun, such great songs.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. It's really a lot of fun, and to see and to hear the reaction of the folks in the audience is fun, and something that we have so desperately missed. Doing all these virtual things from home. So that's great. Now we unfortunately we have almost come to the end of the show. It has been so great to hear some of the stories behind the music and why you picked some of these songs, which is always fascinating to me, and I know to a lot of people. And to be able to share also over the couple weeks of doing this, to share so much of the music from your recital. I think there's not a lot that hasn't been on either this week or a couple weeks ago. So that has been a lot of fun to do as well. Now we have one more piece of music to share.
I'd love to set that up.
So absolutely, please tell us about this last piece.
This song is called Love Don't Need a Reason. It's by Peter Allen, Marcia Malamut, and Michael Callan. And it was first performed by Peter Allen at the AIDS Walk in 1987. And it became a very powerful, it still is, a song associated with the plague in the 80s. And when Hugh Jackman did his brilliant musical based on Peter Allen, he sang it. And I love to close with this, Love Don't Need a Reason.
Fantastic. It is a beautiful song. It's a great way to close out any show. And I am so glad you joined us. I look forward.
Thanks, Blythe, for
Absolutely. No,
been a thrill.
it's been great to have you here. Thank you everyone for watching. I look forward to seeing you all back here again next week. Meanwhile, please stay safe, stay healthy. And to close us out, here is Love Don't Need a Reason. Thank you again, Jim.
If your heart always did what a normal heart should do, if you always play a part instead of being who you really are, then you might just miss the one who's standing there. So instead of passing by, show the someone that you care. Instead of asking why me and why you, why not we too? 'Cause love don't need a reason. Love don't always rhyme, for love is all we have for now. What we don't have is time. If you always believe all the madness that we're taught, never questioning the rules, then you're living lies you bought so long ago. How are they to know it's not who's wrong or right? It's just another way. It's not about a fight. It's just I want to stay with you to the end, with you, my friend, 'cause love don't need a reason. Love don't always rhyme, for love is all we have for now. What we don't have is time. I'll hold you close, time can't tear us apart. I will stand by you. We've got to start with a beat of one heart together. We will see this through, 'cause love don't need a reason. Love's never a crime, for love is all we have for now. What we don't have, what we don't have.